what I gotta do is get this pedal assembly for the clutch and the brake up under the dash, because that steering column bolts on right here. Welcome back. It's probably been a minute. Been getting some videos out here this summer, 2 or 3 of them so far. It's 4th of July weekend. Fuck you, Joe. I figured I got, today and tomorrow before I gotta go back to work. So I figured I'd come in and work on this Duece to Ram cab swap thing I got going on here. I really want to be working on my Chevy, my 85 K20 30 40 restoration truck over there with the Cummins swap in it. But I'm looking for a steering column, a tilt, automatic. I know there's a few, but they're so far away. So I'm doing this instead. So what I want to do here is also steering column related. See if my light's got any juice. So this steering column it's out of the Ram. That's what I'm going to use. And I was kind of just testing it out here. What I got to do is get this pedal assembly for the clutch and the brake up under the dash, because that steering column bolts on right here. So I got to figure out, and I kind of got it figured out. I just got to do a little bit of trimming on that dashboard, because this sticks out a little bit, which it ain't gonna look great, I don't think, but I'll figure something out to trim it up and make it look presentable, I guess. I'm gonna get set up to do that. We'll be right back. Okay, I got the steering wheel removed out of my mock-up position. You see these lines. I'm gonna cut this out with my grinder right here. Right here. And in attempt to get this thing up in there. So that's kind of how that sticks out from there. And I don't remember what went on in my head that I drew that line on the top, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out, because I came out here to do something. So I guess I'll cut it out, and if it screws it up, I'll just throw this whole project in the dump. I just want to get this one steering. If I can get this one steering, I gotta change the fuel pressure regulator sensor that's on the fuel rail. I'll be able to drive this thing. All the rest of the systems work. So I just gotta hook up the brakes and the steering wheel, and this thing's ready to go. And I guess that's what I want, is more self-powered units around this shop here. It's the same thing with the 85 Chevy over there. The only thing holding me up from pulling that in and out of the garage under its own power is the steering column. It was a manual truck. It has an automatic in it now. The steering column that's in it doesn't have the shifting mechanism for the automatic transmissions, so I can't put it in gear to drive it. So I need the steering column. I have a steering column that has an automatic shifter on it, but it's a fixed column. I also need a tilt steering wheel because I'm a freaking Sasquatch. That's what we took out. Now, I'm gonna see if this pedal assembly will go in there. Oh God. Not quite. Making some progress now. I gotta take this big switch out of here. I don't know what this does. It's got all kinds of different functions, but I want it to stay there even if it doesn't work. Oh, Jesus. Guess I gotta destroy it. Guide. Oh shit! I got it. Oh, that's perfect. Clutch bottom's out on the assembly before it hits the floor, which leads me to believe the brake pedal will do the same thing. So that's where that's gonna go. I just need an extra hand. I don't understand why we were only born with two hands. Lighting is a disaster right now. the little light that really works good on top of the camera. I haven't done any videos in a while, so that light is dead. The light I have in the cab sucks compared to this unit. See that? It's supposed to look just like that on this end. But I left this under my van after I put the gas tank in it and took it for a ride. Still works, but the clamper parts are destroyed. So lighting sucks. I gotta get a helper out here so I can clamp this or something. But that's basically how it goes. I gotta get it clamped in there and get a couple holes drilled so it's fastened on there, and then I can put the steering wheel. Working in the cab sucks. When I get them holes drilled and that thing is bolted to the firewall, I'll bring you back around. I was able to do this without going to get a helper or growing a third arm. I forgot I had tools like this. Those are pretty grippy, more than I thought they would be. I bought a bunch of smaller C-clamps, and I had these. So originally clamped it with those up under there, and it held, so I put these in just to hold it up because it was trying to tip down as I was clamping it underneath. And then I switched out these orange ones for a small C-clamp, one at a time. So it's in there. Now I just gotta drill some holes. There's 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 2 holes just up through the bottom of this thing. They just make it past the face of that firewall. So I need to make a little L bracket to hold this piece up. I'll probably put a bar across to give it a little more strength because that's a little flimsy. On the outside, we got the Hydro Boost brake system that's going to bolt in like right here. I do have this. The Hydro Boost brake system was bolted here. The master cylinder for the clutch system bolts on there. And your steering shaft comes through this hole. I was going to bolt that on there, maybe weld it or both for now or whatever. There's one locating bolt there, I need to get that off. But this is going to get bolted and probably welded on the outside for some more rigidity. I guess I got to get the drill. None of them holes are like centered, you know? Damn. Let's see. Right there. There. Oh, that might be a twofer. Now all I gotta do is put this in there. Oh, I gotta drill a hole in the center of it. I wonder how I'm gonna do that. That's a big hole. I gotta get some sort of... actually have a hole saw to make this go in there. That hooks to the brake pedal. That's actually pretty good. Kinda got more for my money than I was expecting. Well, I'm gonna put some bolts in those 4 holes and draw me a little circle around where the brake rod is gonna come through. I think I got a hole saw that's big enough to accommodate that. And see about bolting that damn steering column in there. Fortunately, I think I'm gonna have to go. That's kind of center. I ain't gonna cut that all out. I got a dinner date and I got to go clean up because I stink. So I think I can get back on this tomorrow though. Hang in there, I'll be right back. Making some pretty good progress here. Every step I make is presenting a solution to another problem, I guess. Minor problems, just like this last thing I cut out right here. This has a concave to it. It bumps into the cab, which right here was presenting a problem where this is the pedal assembly showing right there, and it was pushing it that way into the cab, so it wasn't sitting true on the firewall. So I'd cut that out. I got my hole drilled for this piece. That lines up good with everything, but that is presenting a problem where I got this pedal assembly clamped to the firewall inside, and well, I'm by myself, so it's gonna be tricky to get this Hydro Boost put in there, get this put in there without that pedal assembly getting all falling out of whack and out of the way. Another situation where a guy should have 3 hands. But we'll make it happen. I just gotta figure out exactly what I'm gonna do. That was probably a better option to hold that thing up there than these. Sometimes I forget I have these awesome clamps. Perfect. All right, what I got here to make this all stay where it's at is this little bolt right here just goes through this and the firewall. And then there's a stud on the other side of this that goes through the pedal assembly. And then on the inside, I got that big adjustable clamp holding it up. So hopefully when I pull these bolts back out, now that I got this hole drilled for this rod, I'll be able to take this whole conglomeration and bolt it in there. And I've been looking where I cut that piece out right here of the firewall. I got a hole lined up, you know, a bolt hole for the master cylinder for the clutch and the hole for the rod. All I gotta do is drill one hole right there for the other stud on the master cylinder, which is, it's around here. I don't know where. Right here. See that? All that stuff gonna go here. And then everything here is fast, solid, mounted, solid. Might have to take this fender off. I think I'm gonna do that. It's only a couple bolts right here. Get that out of the way. That way I can get that stuff in there without anything fighting me. Pretty mobile. So this just needs to go up in that hole. Oh. See? Good thing I took that fender off of there. Otherwise, we'd have a bigger fight. What is fighting us? This is a little taunt. Oh, so we're back a little farther. We're running into issues with the power steering lines. Gonna have to extend that. Alright. Did you catch what I said about why? That's pretty good. Hose was too short there. So the firewall of this truck is back probably just a couple of inches or an inch farther than the firewall of the Ram to where this bolted on. That line was getting taut. So hopefully it's in there. Alright. I gotta find the bolts that go on there. I don't think the ones I was using are the right size, so. Alright, I actually found the bolts that are supposed to hold that on. So, nuts! I actually found the nuts that are supposed to hold that on. Something ain't right. The nuts ain't, I don't know, they're not the right ones. So those were the right nuts, I just needed a bigger hammer. So I got it in there. I got one more to tighten up. Yeah. I guess that's a little taunt too. It's not, I don't need a dress. I gotta get some longer things like that, I guess. That's in there though, so that's a bonus. So here's what it looks like inside. I got my light working finally. So I got the thing already hooked up there. I lost a clip apparently. But the brake pedal is mint as hell. This is going to be the clutch. It'll be just perfect once I get the master cylinder in there and drill one more hole. We'll be set up there. And the throttle pedal is a simple, the throttle pedal is a separate unit. We'll figure out where it goes here. It might even bolt up in there. I can't remember at this point, but yeah. So I think, I don't know, do I want to get ahead of myself and jam the steering column up in there and get it bolted down so I can see what I'm seeing? I think I want to drill that one last hole for the master cylinder on the clutch before I put that steering column in. I mean, it's one bolt. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. I'm gonna get that last hole drilled, save some time on the editing, take you offline here. I'll bring you back when I'm ready to put that steering column in there. Oh boy, it's getting exciting now. Well, that's gonna conclude my adventures for today. I actually got everything I wanted to get done, so I can't complain about that. We had a little side project we had to do. I sold a tag axle off my old truck. The guy came to get that. I finished getting the clutch pedal, slave cylinder, master cylinder hooked up. Got the brake pedal hooked up. Got all the pedal assembly bolted to the firewall, including the brace that I cut out of the firewall of the 06 Ram that all this was once part of. Got the Hydra Boost brake steering system on, you know, because that's part of bolting the pedal assembly up. We had to separate this one low pressure line for the steering because it was stretched out quite a bit. These pressure lines are going to have to be extended or something. They're pretty ratty anyway, so we'll probably go through all that this winter. And of course, as you have seen, the steering column is in. This will be cool. We can utilize some of the original M35 switches. You know, this could be like a master kill. I don't think we can utilize the stop engine, but there's a left and right fuel tank, which we won't be using, but you know, we could incorporate it. And I'm not sure what we're gonna do over here. It'd be cool to use those gauges, but I probably won't be able to. This unit is too new. It's not gonna correspond with that. So I got the original dash instrument panel out of the Ram. Probably have to finagle that in there and make it work somehow or the other. It's Sunday, 4th of July weekend, last day before we go back to work, which will probably be another one day this week. It's been pretty slow, so I figured I would get something accomplished, try to make a video out of it. Down the road, we'll see where it lands. I guess this is where we'll leave it, and we'll see you on the next one, wherever that may be, hopefully soon. Thanks for watching. This is kind of how it's going to look. Just sitting on a box right now, but I can fashion my seat to this, and this actually isn't that bad. I got plenty of leg room here to operate the clutch and the brake and all that. I'm not looking at a backrest. We're just leaning up against the back of the cab. So essentially, down the road, I might need a different steering column that is closer this way, or I actually might be able to fashion this whole column farther in. That'll take a little fabricating, but if I could get it from like right here to be right there and come up with something to mount it, that'd give me more room between the steering wheel, and then I could have, but we'll see. I'm gonna leave it like this till I get it running, get it driving around. Probably gonna use some sort of air ride semi seat, and we'll go from there. Once all that's happening, running, driving, I'll get the seat that I want, and then I'll work this steering shaft column to accommodate, because there's a lot of room right here. You know, this doesn't need to be out this far. You can take that in there 6 inches easily. I'll have to rack my brain about that.